Darn it. I thought I was gonna make it. Oh well. I got home late tonight. It was a very long day. Hold on. Let me get some light. There we go. I'm just sitting out here relaxing now. Almost forgot to vlog today. There wasn't much time to. And this morning it started 7:30. I had to be at a job site at 8. This is for a new lumber liquidators. Close to the shop, but brand new store. They were just setting up. They still had construction going on inside, but they were open. Weird. They weren't supposed to be open either because their sprinkler system failed inspection by the fire marshal. Fire marshal said you cannot be open, but they were taking people anyways, and I don't blame them. I mean, it's not going to harm anything, so. But yeah, my job today was at the lumber liquidators, and it was to install their network and their registers and all this, basically everything computer related. I had to personally install today by myself. I get there and there's a pallet full of stuff. First box on top was the backboard I had to mount near their Comcast modem. Thankfully there was another mount there, another backboard there that I just mounted it to, so I didn't have to spend the time looking for a stud or anything. But well, I get there expecting everything to have been shipped there, and lo and behold, there were no screws. There was no RJ11s, which are the phone connectors that you see on ends of cables that actually plug into the jacks and all that. And there was no Cat5 jacks, which are the network jacks. Or there wasn't enough of them. So I had to call up the boss and see if he could bring me some. And that was a challenge because we didn't have some of that stuff. So I think he had to go buy it or something. But yep. So I mounted a rack. I installed a router. I called the company we were doing this for to have them start configuring it, and 4 hours later they still hadn't gotten it configured. They were having issues getting it to go out to the internet. I could get internet on the Comcast modem, but I couldn't coming out of the router or anything behind there. So, oh, there's an interesting story about the router. We couldn't find the router initially. And actually this goes back to first thing in the morning when I got there. I went to, it was like a electronics store. They sold, you know, TVs, printers, computer stuff, you name it, electronics. And I knew something was up from the beginning, because why would an electronics store sell lumber? But I went there because that's what the address said to go to. And they told me it was actually down a few doors in that strip mall. That's no problem, you know. I got into the van and moved it down to where the actual place was. But between that and when I got there, the router was nowhere to be found. It turned out the router got delivered like a month prior to me getting there, and somebody signed for it, but that somebody worked for that electronics store. It actually got delivered to the electronics store, so the entire Lumber Liquidators Corporation and the company I was doing the work for had the address wrong. There was another piece of equipment that got lost. We think it was delivered to the same place, the electronics store, and it disappeared. There's a fourth register system, a PC, monitor, keyboard, mouse, everything that was supposed to be, that was delivered to the wrong place. But yeah, so I did that, installed the router, called the company to configure it. I had to terminate 8 data cables and 4 voice cables for the phones and the fax and all this up at the front counter. I had to install 3 registers. That includes a PC, a keyboard, mouse, hand scanner, check reader, monitor, monitor with speaker bar. Each one had to be set up a certain way, so they sent me a template to lay down on the desk. I mean, how micromanaged can you get? But I did it, so it's no big deal. What else? Oh, I had to install a multifunction printer under the counter at register 1 at the front counter. Thankfully, when I plugged everything in and turned it on, I went back to the switch and looked to see if all the lights were on. There was only 4 items that were connected, so I looked and all lights were on, so that made me happy, because that meant that my termination and the whoever did the cable runs did it properly the first time. It's always nice when it's done right the first time. But what else? Oh, I also had to install a little wireless Cradlepoint device on the backboard. This worked off the cellular service, Verizon service, so that an iPad kiosk on the store floor, the shop front there, could advertise what they were trying to sell, and customers can come in and use the iPad and look for stuff, and it even let them get on Facebook, and it had a calculator and all that, and it was a really neat thing. But it had a cable with it, with a padlock that I had to figure out a way to lock it up so that nobody took it. And that wireless was so that the iPad could update and talk over the internet. So I installed that, tested it, it was all good. What else? Once I got everything installed and they finally figured out whatever was wrong with the router, we got to test everything, and that took, hour and a half or so to test. And by then, well, let's put it this way, my day started at 7:30 this morning. I didn't get done with that job until 8:30 tonight. Then I didn't get home until like 9:15, because I stopped to get something to eat. I had eaten lunch. I didn't get time to eat lunch all day, so it's been a long day. I'm tired, and I apologize for vlogging today as opposed to yesterday. I wasn't too late, but yeah, I'm tired and it's time to relax, so I hope everybody has a great night and a great day, and I will talk to y'all later. I want to see if I can show you guys some of these. YouTube said I copyrighted some images in the past, but I want to see if I can show you some of the work I did today. This is my work phone, Metro PCS, but let's see if you can see them. That's the backboard and cable management I had to install. That's one of the register kiosks. Same kiosk with the PC down below. The second register kiosk, second PC. This was the register at the front counter. The big printer, the multifunction fax, copy, scan, you name it. Those are the data, the blue cables, and the voice, the red cables. You can't really see it, but yeah. It was a fun day. I know it's dark. It's time to go to bed. Y'all can't really see it, but there's the Little Dipper, I think. It's too small to be the Big Dipper, but that's so cool.